Some of the greatest things that we're using right now, and the biggest technological things are first of all, one thing is CAD CAM dentistry, where we can take a digital image of a tooth and a prepared tooth or a tooth before, and we can recreate that tooth on a computer model, and then we can design and mill that tooth in the office. So we mill that tooth out of a solid block of porcelain, and then I've done the training where I can glaze and stain like a lab can, and do it in some ways better than a lab, right there chairside, and match colors on back teeth, front teeth, very well. I mean, almost perfectly. And that technology is our biggest up and coming technology, one of our newest technologies, where we can do those kind of things, and we can do that for many teeth in the mouth without a gooey impression. All of it, and we can send those images sometimes to a lab if we need to. But those new impressions are more accurate than anything we've had. They're faster, and again, you can kind of see how the whole process works when you come in here and see how that experience is. But it's an amazing experience, and it's changing our profession so quickly that I'm so excited about it. I'm excited to be such a big part of it. Another thing too is using lasers, specifically carbon dioxide lasers, which I prefer for most things. So, lasers for doing a lot of the surgical procedures, implants, and those kind of procedures, gum tissues and things like that, because with a carbon dioxide laser, we can actually make the holes for the implants through tissue. We can cauterize, we can do so many wonderful things and have less swelling. We had for example, I had a patient yesterday who we did some implants on, and she'd had some implants previously, even through a specialist, and she said, I was swollen every time I'd come in, I'd be painful, and when she came back in, I said, well, that's not how things should be anymore, because we don't have to cut big flaps through tissue, we don't have to do sutures everywhere, we can do very small little holes through gum tissue and place implants very accurately with a lot less trauma to tissue and to the guest. And she was amazed that she wasn't swollen up. She was amazed that she didn't have pain like she had had previously. And for me, I've been working with that CO2 laser for 6 years, and I just think it's pretty standard now, but a lot of people have never had that before. So equipment that's changing how we do things in dentistry is 3D imaging or 3D CAT scans. What we can do now is we can take an image, similar to an X-ray or like a CAT scan, and it reconstructs the skull or the area that we're working, and we can look at that area in all 3 dimensions now, instead of looking at a 2-dimensional X-ray. So it gives us a lot more information about especially we're trying to do implants or even do root canals or things like that, where we can actually start looking through canal systems. We can start looking at where sinuses and bones are and things like that. But it's pretty amazing technology. You can reconstruct, even parts of the skull and parts of where missing teeth are, and we can actually, simulate we're going to put implants in there and what that implant's going to look like when it's placed in there, and very accurately we can do those kind of things. So being able to do that, and do that with guests who come in who need bigger treatment plans, or even if we have undiagnosed problems or problems that we can't find a reason for, it just gives us so much more information about what's going on there. So if we have an abscess that's hidden behind a 3rd root there that we couldn't see in an X-ray, then we'll be able to see it now in a 3-dimensional view. And the technology is amazing because we can look at it together, and we can look at it on the screen, and we can look at it from all different angles and see what the bone looks like, and looks like from behind the head or from inside the mouth. So it's really emerging, amazing technology. Technology can benefit the guests so much because it makes what we do better. If I didn't have a laser, I'm so reliant on that carbon dioxide laser because I use it for almost every procedure in some way, a small way. I had one day where the laser didn't work, and I panicked because I thought, well, I can still do this, but I can't do this as effectively and as well. And is my pain going to be as much? And luckily, I was able to get the laser shipped out the next day, the new one, and so I didn't go without it long. But I really rely on those kind of things, especially technology that works. I mean, there's so much technology. Sometimes you have to kind of wait and see which one or how it's really going to play, or how it's going to play into what you do. But the technology that I've invested in, I'm a big believer in, because I know it makes things better. It makes pain better. It makes what we do better. I mean, can we do things without a laser? Yes, we can. But can I do it as well? No. 3D imaging, if I want to place an implant in a very complicated case, can I do it without it? Yes, I can do it well without it. But can I do it better with it? Especially in places I have a hard time vision. Yes, I can do it better. So it just makes what we do, takes some of the guess out of what we do, and it truly can make things better for the patient sitting there. Scanning, 3D imaging, CAT scanning, or CAD CAM. The impressions are so accurate. We don't have to put temporaries on and get people numb twice and have them come back, or come back several times to rematch shades because they don't work. We can do that all in one appointment now, and do it even better in one appointment, because the impression is so accurate. When we take an impression, it's kind of like taking a copy of a copy. With 3D scanning, 3D imaging, we can 3D. I keep bringing this up, but 3D CAD CAM. With CAD CAM, we can take a very accurate impression, so we don't have to remake an impression and pour up models like we traditionally